A single Walmart store is such a large commercial operation.
When hundreds of Walmart employees joined what they thought would be a routine Zoom call, no one expected the conversation to take the turn it did. Corporate meetings are typically polite, measured, and carefully controlled. But on this particular call, as talk turned to the company's new mandatory relocation policy, one participant couldn't contain their frustration any longer.
The largest private employer reveals store managers earn an average salary of $175,000 a year.
This is a bunch of bullshit, they said, their voice cutting through the digital silence. Workers on the call were startled, but not surprised. The outburst captured what thousands were thinking, but few dared to say out loud. America's largest private employer had just delivered an ultimatum that would upend lives, fracture families, and force impossible choices on people who had spent years building careers they thought were secure. The memo had arrived without warning. On May 14, 2024, Donna Morris, Walmart's chief people officer, sent a message that would change everything for thousands of corporate employees. The instructions were clear and uncompromising. Most remote workers, along with employees in Dallas, Atlanta, and Toronto offices, would need to relocate. The primary destination was Bentonville, Arkansas, a town of fewer than 60,000 people tucked away in the northwest corner of the state. Workers had until July 1st to decide whether they would uproot their lives and move or walk away from their jobs entirely. Those who chose to stay had exactly 4 months to sell homes, find new housing in a market with limited inventory, relocate families, and start fresh in a place many had never even visited. The alternative was severance and unemployment. For employees scattered across major metropolitan areas, the news landed like a gut punch. Some had been working remotely for years, building careers while raising families in cities they'd chosen deliberately. Remote work had proven effective. Productivity remained high, projects moved forward, and the flexibility allowed people to balance demanding jobs with the realities of family life. Others had relocated to Dallas or Atlanta specifically for Walmart positions, establishing roots in vibrant urban centers with diverse opportunities, strong schools, and the kind of cultural amenities that come with living in major cities. Now, all of that was being pulled out from under them. The company framed the decision as strategic. Morris cited the need for better collaboration, faster innovation, and stronger company culture. "We've already seen the benefits of having more teams working together in person," she wrote, "and today we are sharing another step that will help accelerate our momentum." The language was corporate, polished, and carefully crafted to sound reasonable. But employees saw something else entirely. They saw a corporation prioritizing real estate investments over human lives. They saw executives who'd never had to uproot their families demanding others do exactly that. They saw the end of the concerned remote work flexibility that had allowed them to thrive during the pandemic and beyond. The human stories behind the statistics reveal the true cost of the decision. Consider the single parent in Dallas who'd been working remotely for 3 years, carefully balancing childcare with a demanding corporate role. Relocating to Bentonville meant leaving behind a support network of family and friends who helped with school pickups and emergency babysitting. It meant starting over in a place where those networks didn't exist, where finding reliable childcare would be harder, and where the nearest family members would be hundreds of miles away. Or the dual-income couple in Atlanta, where both partners had thriving careers. One worked for Walmart, the other for a tech company with no presence in Arkansas. Moving to Bentonville meant one career survived while the other was sacrificed. The calculus was brutal. Which career matters more? Whose ambitions get priority? And how do you measure the long-term cost of that decision when years down the line, resentment and lost opportunities pile up? Then there were the employees caring for aging parents. Relocating to Arkansas didn't just mean changing zip codes, it meant abandoning someone who depended on them, forcing difficult conversations about nursing homes or long-distance caregiving that no one wanted to have. These weren't edge cases or rare exceptions. These were the realities facing thousands of Walmart employees who never imagined their remote work arrangement, earned through years of proven performance, would be revoked with 4 months' notice. The frustration that erupted on that Zoom call reflected what many were feeling, but struggling to articulate. According to Bloomberg, the corporate meeting quickly became a forum for raw, unfiltered concerns. Worries about partners losing their jobs poured out. Questions about finding quality childcare in a smaller market surfaced repeatedly. Fears about increased workloads in a consolidated office environment emerged. Anxiety about what life would look like in Arkansas compared to the cities they were leaving behind became impossible to ignore. For some employees, the relocation wasn't just inconvenient, it felt impossible. The human cost was being dismissed in favor of corporate efficiency. Donna Morris later told Bloomberg that the majority of employees were choosing to return to the office. But behind that statement lay another truth. Some were choosing to leave instead. The exact number of departures remains unclear, but reports suggest hundreds opted for severance rather than relocation. One employee who spoke to Bloomberg said he decided to quit rather than relocate on such short notice. The decision meant walking away from years of accumulated benefits, institutional knowledge, and career progression, all because the company valued centralization over flexibility. To understand why Walmart made this decision, you need to understand Bentonville itself and the massive investment the company was making there. For decades, Walmart's corporate headquarters had been a modest, utilitarian complex built in the 1970s. Functional, but hardly inspiring. As the company grew into the world's largest retailer, the aging campus became a symbol of outdated thinking in an era when tech giants were building luxurious, amenity-filled workspaces to attract top talent. In response, Walmart launched its most ambitious construction project in company history, a $690 million, 350-acre corporate campus designed to rival anything in Silicon Valley. The new headquarters, which began opening in phases starting January 2025, is nothing short of stunning. 12 office buildings spread across the property, built with the largest application of mass timber construction in the United States. 2 miles of walking and biking trails wind through the campus. An amphitheater hosts company events. A rooftop lounge offers views of the Ozark Hills. A full-service hotel accommodates visiting employees and clients. The amenities go far beyond what you'd expect in rural Arkansas. Swimming pools and pickleball courts cater to fitness enthusiasts. Tennis and basketball courts provide recreational options. A state-of-the-art childcare center addresses one of the biggest concerns working parents face. A dozen restaurant options ensure employees never need to leave campus for meals. It's a deliberate rebrand, an attempt to show that Walmart could offer the perks and lifestyle of a tech company, even in the middle of nowhere. Lorraine Stomsky, Walmart's chief talent officer, confirmed the strategy was working. Our candidates that come in are 3 times more likely to be open to moving to Northwest Arkansas because they've come here, they've visited, they've experienced the area, they've experienced our campus, and they feel our culture, she told Fortune magazine. The campus was designed to house approximately 15,000 corporate employees, consolidating a workforce that had been spread across multiple cities. For Walmart, the math was simple. Bringing everyone together would improve collaboration, reduce redundancy, and create a unified corporate culture. But for the employees being summoned to this new campus, the calculation looked very different. Bentonville is not New York, it's not Los Angeles, it's not even Dallas or Atlanta. With a population under 60,000, the town offers a lifestyle that's worlds apart from the major metros where many Walmart employees had built their lives. The region has been quietly transforming, driven by Walmart's growth and the arrival of thousands of well-paid corporate workers. Northwest Arkansas now boasts world-class mountain biking trails, a renowned art museum funded by Walmart heiress Alice Walton, and a growing food scene that rivals cities 10 times its size. Real estate is affordable compared to coastal markets, a major selling point for employees priced out of San Francisco or New York. But not everyone sees this as progress. For employees forced to relocate, the challenges are real. Housing inventory is tight, with many buyers purchasing homes sight unseen over video calls just to secure a place before the October deadline. Dual-income families struggle to find equivalent job opportunities for spouses in a smaller market. Parents worry about the quality of schools and the limited cultural and social opportunities for their children compared to major cities. And then there's the isolation. For employees who thrived in the diversity and energy of urban centers, Bentonville can feel suffocating. The nearest major airport is small, with limited flight options. Reaching major cities requires connections and travel time that employees in Dallas or Atlanta never had to consider. The May 2024 announcement wasn't the end of Walmart's consolidation strategy. In February 2025, the company announced another, round of relocations. Employees in Hoboken, New Jersey, and other smaller offices were told to move to Bentonville, Sunnyvale, California, or a select few other hubs. Walmart also shut down its Charlotte, North Carolina office entirely, cutting corporate positions as part of the restructuring. Hundreds of additional roles were eliminated in this phase, according to sources familiar with the matter. For employees in Hoboken, many of whom had been recruited specifically to work in that office, the news felt like a bait and switch. They'd been promised jobs in the New York metropolitan area, close to the energy and opportunities of one of the world's great cities. Now they were being told to move to rural Arkansas, or quit. Walmart isn't alone in demanding employees return to physical offices. Amazon announced in 2024 that it would require corporate workers to return to the office 5 days a week starting in 2025, ending the hybrid model that allowed 2 days of remote work. Dell implemented strict return to office policies. Salesforce tightened its remote work rules. Bank of America followed suit. The pattern is clear. The flexibility offered during the pandemic is being systematically rolled back. Corporate leaders cite collaboration, innovation, and culture as justifications. They argue that in-person work fosters spontaneous interactions that lead to breakthrough ideas. They claim that remote work weakens company identity and makes it harder to mentor younger employees. But critics see something else. They see executives justifying massive real estate investments that would otherwise sit empty. They see a desire to reassert control over workers who discovered they could be just as productive or more from home. They see a return to outdated notions of productivity tied to physical presence rather than actual output. For Walmart, the stakes are particularly high. The company eliminated several hundred corporate jobs as part of the relocation announcement, cutting positions that couldn't be easily consolidated into the new structure. For those who remained, the message was clear: adapt or leave. Walmart's relocation mandate represents more than a return to office policy. It's a statement about power. In a tight labor market where workers in many industries have gained leverage and flexibility, Walmart has chosen to reassert control. The company is betting that its employees, even highly skilled corporate workers, will ultimately comply rather than risk unemployment. For thousands, that bet has proven correct. They've relocated, adjusted, and tried to make the best of life in Northwest Arkansas. But for hundreds of others, the mandate was a bridge too far. They've left, taking their skills and experience elsewhere. The long-term consequences of this strategy remain unclear. Will consolidation in Bentonville lead to the innovation and collaboration Walmart's leadership promises, or will it result in a brain drain as talented employees choose companies that offer more flexibility and respect for work-life balance? What's certain is this: the era of remote work flexibility at Walmart is over. The company has made its choice. Now, employees must live with theirs. For 77 years, In-N-Out Burger was more than a fast food chain.
There's a lot of great things about California, but raising a family is not easy here.
It was a California institution, a symbol of quality, consistency, and a family-owned business that never compromised its values. From a single drive-through stand in Baldwin Park in 1948, it grew into a $2.1 billion empire, all while staying 100% family-owned and fiercely loyal to its home state. The company invented the drive-through, kept the menu simple, and insisted on preparing everything by hand. No franchises, no public stock offerings. Just 3 generations of the Snyder family building something that felt permanent, rooted in California soil, like the palm trees that line its parking lots. But in 2025, something changed. Lindsay Snyder, the billionaire owner and granddaughter of In-N-Out's founders, made a stunning announcement. She was moving her family to Tennessee. Her words were direct and unsparing. There's a lot of great things about California, but raising a family is not easy here. Doing business is not easy here. For a brand synonymous with California sunshine and tradition, this personal decision sent shockwaves through the business world. It wasn't just about geography. It was about safety, costs, and whether California could still support the values that made In-N-Out what it is today. The numbers tell the story of what In-N-Out became. The company generates $2.1 billion in annual revenue, with each store averaging $5.8 million, higher than any other burger chain in the country. Store managers routinely earn 6 figures. Entry-level workers start at $17 to $20 per hour, with health insurance, paid vacation, and a 401k. The Mjöd company has never wavered from its core values. Promote from within. Treat employees like family. Keep every burger as fresh as the first. This isn't corporate rhetoric. It's a way of operating that's been passed down through 3 generations, built on the foundation that Harry and Esther Snyder established in that first tiny stand. Lindsay Snyder controls nearly the entire business with a personal net worth estimated between $7.3 and $8.7 billion. She inherited leadership at a young age following family tragedies, and by all accounts, she's protected the company's values fiercely. But even icons can feel the pressure. Her announcement came on a podcast in July 2025, and the words carried weight beyond their surface meaning. She wasn't just talking about personal preferences or lifestyle choices, she was describing structural problems that had made California, once the golden land of opportunity, increasingly difficult to navigate for business owners and families alike. March 24th, 2024 stands out as a turning point for In-N-Out. That day, the company shut down its Oakland restaurant after 18 years of steady business. The closure wasn't about profit margins. By every account, the location was busy and financially strong. Customers loved it. The food was consistent. The service was fast. But over 5 years, police logged 1,335 incidents at that single address. 1,174 car break-ins, 9 robberies, gunfire that sent bullets through the building itself. Security guards reported up to 5 break-ins a day. The chaos wasn't occasional, it was constant. COO Denny Warnick explained the decision bluntly. Police response times were alarming. For a company built on loyalty and stability, closing a store was unthinkable until safety concerns left no other option. The decision came after exhaustive attempts to make it work. The company had invested in security measures, coordinated with local law enforcement, and tried everything short of turning the restaurant into a fortress. Nothing worked. The environment had deteriorated to the point where keeping the doors open meant putting employees and customers at risk every single day. The Oakland shutdown wasn't isolated. In the same corridor, Denny's, 2 Starbucks locations, Subway, and Black Bear Diner all pulled out within months, each citing similar risks. What made In-N-Out's move different was its historic significance. In 75 years, the chain had never permanently closed a location. Never. The company had weathered recessions, changing consumer tastes and intense competition from national chains. It had stayed committed to every community it entered. Walking away from Oakland, a city where the brand had deep roots, sent a message that went far beyond fast food. It said that even California's most loyal, homegrown brands were being pushed to their limits. While headlines focused on the Oakland closure, In-N-Out's leadership was already looking east. In January 2023, Tennessee's governor announced a $125.5 million investment from In-N-Out to build a new 100,000 square foot office in Franklin. The address, 1948 Double Drive, paid tribute to the company's founding year. The facility would create 277 corporate jobs, each averaging $90,000 a year. This wasn't just a satellite office or a regional distribution center, it was a deliberate foothold in a state where the cost of doing business and living looked very different from California. Lindsay Snyder's personal move to Tennessee, revealed months later, underscored the seriousness of the shift. The Franklin office was designed to anchor In-N-Out's expansion across the Southeast. At the same time, the company began phasing out its Irvine office, planning to close it by the end of the decade. The Irvine location had been home to 500 employees, the nerve center of operations for decades. Moving those functions east wasn't a minor adjustment. It was a fundamental restructuring of how the company operated. For employees, this meant a choice: adapt to a new corporate landscape, potentially relocate, or face uncertainty about their futures. For California, it was a sign that even the most loyal, homegrown brands were making contingency plans. In-N-Out's shift mirrored a broader crisis unfolding across California's economy. The problems weren't limited to crime or isolated incidents. They were systemic, touching industries far beyond retail. In October 2024, Phillips 66 announced the closure of its Los Angeles refinery, set to take 138,700 barrels per day offline by the end of 2025. Within months, Valero revealed its Benicia facility would shut down by April 20. 26 removing another 145,000 to 170,000 barrels daily. The combined loss, nearly 284,000 barrels every single day, will erase 17% of the state's refining capacity. Only 7 conventional refineries will remain, down from 19 at the turn of the millennium and 29 in the 1980s. The trajectory is unmistakable. An industry that once thrived in California is systematically dismantling its presence. The consequences show up at the pump. By December 2025, California's average gas price sits at $4.29 per gallon, a full $1.45 higher than the national average of $2.84. State taxes alone add 63 cents per gallon, the highest in the country. UC Davis economists warned that refinery closures could tack on another $1.21 per gallon by the following summer, for a state that consumes 900,000 barrels of gasoline each day. The costs ripple through every delivery, every commute, and every business that relies on transportation. Industry leaders aren't mincing words. Valero's CEO called California the most stringent and difficult regulatory environment in North America. The company recently paid an $82 million fine for air pollution, the largest in state history. For companies balancing razor-thin margins, these pressures are forcing hard choices. The regulatory burden isn't just expensive, it's unpredictable. Rules change, enforcement intensifies, costs escalate, and businesses that have operated in California for decades start calculating whether they can continue. The Hoover Institution tracked 789 headquarters relocations out of California from 2011 to 2021. The pace has only accelerated since. Chevron, after more than 140 years, announced its move to Houston in August 2024. SpaceX shifted key operations to Texas. Oracle and Tesla made similar moves, keeping thousands of jobs in California, but shifting investment and decision-making elsewhere. The pattern is clear. Companies maintain a presence, but the center of gravity is moving out. They keep warehouses, retail locations, and some operational staff. But the strategic functions, the executive roles, the long-term planning, all of that migrates to states with lower costs and fewer regulatory headaches. In July 2025, Lindsay Snyder addressed swirling rumors with a direct post. "We're not moving In-N-Out Burger's corporate headquarters." Around the same time, California's governor echoed the message, insisting the company was simply growing eastward and adding a second headquarters. On paper, the numbers seem to support that story. 287 locations still operate in California, making up 2/3 of the chain's footprint. New stores continue to open in places like Carson, Anaheim, and Modesto. The company isn't fleeing California overnight. The familiar red and white buildings still dot the landscape, and the drive-through lines remain as long as ever. But the reality is more complex. Tennessee is getting 35 new locations, a 100,000 square foot office, and 277 corporate jobs averaging $90,000 a year. The address, 1948 Double Drive, signals more than expansion. It's a deliberate homage to the company's roots, now transplanted east. Meanwhile, the Irvine office, once home to 500 employees, is set to close by the end of the decade. The new Franklin facility isn't just a regional outpost, it's a strategic hub for growth across the Southeast. In-N-Out's compensation model stands out in the industry. Store managers in California earn between $100,000 and $180,000. Entry-level workers start at 17 to 20 dollars an hour, and every manager is promoted from within. These wages are sustainable in California's high-cost environment, but Tennessee's lower costs and tax structure make the same jobs even more attractive and more profitable for the company. Workers in Tennessee can enjoy a higher standard of living on the same wages that barely cover rent in California's expensive coastal cities. For In-N-Out, that means better retention, happier employees, and healthier profit margins. The Dallas Patty plant, opened in 2025, enables the chain to reach new states like Washington and New Mexico while maintaining daily delivery standards. For 77 years, In-N-Out refused to go east of Texas. The company's commitment to freshness meant they would only expand where they could deliver fresh ingredients daily from their own facilities. That constraint kept them west of the Rockies for decades. Now, the logistics and economics have tipped the balance. The infrastructure exists. to support Eastern expansion while maintaining the quality standards the brand is known for. The official line is expansion. The hard numbers reveal a pattern. Power, investment, and opportunity are shifting east, even as the company insists its heart remains in California. It's not a dramatic exodus, it's a slow, calculated repositioning. The kind that happens over years, not months. The kind that only becomes obvious when you step back and look at where the money is flowing, where the new jobs are being created, where the executive decisions are being made. In-N-Out's calculated shift is more than business strategy. It's a signal. As 17% of California's refining capacity disappears and headquarters quietly move east, the question isn't who leaves next, it's what remains for those who stay. The cost of doing business is no longer just a number on a spreadsheet. It's a calculation that includes crime rates, regulatory burdens, taxes, and whether families feel safe raising children. For Lindsay Snyder, that calculation led to Tennessee. For In-N-Out's future, it means the company's center of gravity is slowly, deliberately shifting away from the state that built it. California still has 287 In-N-Out locations. The company still generates billions in revenue from the Golden State. Customers still line up for double doubles and animal-style fries. The brand remains as popular as ever. But the strategic investments, the new headquarters, the corporate jobs, the expansion plans, all of that is happening elsewhere. And that tells a story that official statements can't hide. The foundation of California's economy, built on innovation, entrepreneurship, and opportunity, is under strain. For decades, the state attracted businesses and talent from around the world. People came for the weather, stayed for the opportunities, and built empires that became part of California's identity. Now, those same businesses are reconsidering whether California can still offer what it once promised. In-N-Out isn't fleeing, but it's hedging. And when even the most loyal California brands start looking for exits, it's a warning sign that's hard to ignore. The company that never compromised, never franchised, never wavered from its values, is now making contingency plans. Not because it wants to leave California, but because California is making it increasingly difficult to stay. The question isn't whether In-N-Out will abandon its home state tomorrow. The question is whether 10 or 20 years from now, California will still be the center of a company that once seemed inseparable from the state itself. And if the answer is no, what does that say about the future of the Golden State?